Hey everybody, this is Scott. Today is Monday, September 1st, 2025, and this is video 9 and also the final wrap-up video of the G-Gauge Chessie System SD40-2 project. The locomotives are complete, and I am very happy with how they turned out. I think they look beautiful. I've said this in previous videos, but this has really turned out to be probably my favorite G-scale modeling project that I've ever done in 25 years in this hobby. So, I want to talk about everything that's been done on these to bring them up to date. I have previous videos. Video number 7, I talked in detail about all the vendors and the detail part suppliers and the lettering and decal suppliers that helped me out with parts and lettering. I named them all and gave links to all their sites. That's in video 7 if you want more detail on that. In video 8, I talked about the paint extensively if you want detail on that. And all of this detail additionally is in the Builder's Log webpage, which I will link in the description of this video. So in this video, I'm just going to talk about all the changes that have been made to for this project. I have a list of 31 individual changes, updates, detail parts, lettering, 31 pieces. So first of all, I'll do a recap on how these came to be. These are G-Gauge models, 129 scale, by USA Trains. USA Trains is the company that makes them. They're based in Massachusetts. And they sold the Chessie shells separately several years ago. Just the shells. They weren't complete locomotives. So I bought 3 of the shells, and they all had the same road number. So I stripped off the lettering, and that's all detailed in previous videos and on the webpage. So, and then I got 3 units to provide the truck's electronics and fuel tank to put under the shells. So, let's talk about all the changes. Number 1, and this is roughly in consecutive order, in the order that I did them. I stripped the silver paint off of the cab windows. There was a silver outline. That's gone, and I painted the window gaskets black. I stripped off the C&O and the incorrect road number on the side of the cabs with acetone. Got rid of that lettering completely and took out the number board lettering. I designed new lettering in Photoshop for the B&O and the road numbers on the cab sides. Each one now has a unique prototypical road number. And then those were created by Del Tapero at G-Skill Graphics, and they are vinyl, not water slide decals. First time I've ever used vinyl, and I think they look really nice. Happy with those. I painted the window gaskets black. I already talked about that. I removed the rooftop beacons. The SD40's had flashing lights, which were not prototypical for Chessie system, so I got rid of those. And I sanded them smooth. And then repainted the rooftops blue. That resulted in about a year-long pause because I had bad paint crazing on the roofs. So that took a while. That's also discussed in the Builder's Log webpage. I then touched up the cab sides with a new yellow paint because stripping off the lettering kind of dulled the finish a bit. So I highlighted with new yellow paint. I removed some of the battery door latches. You can see a latch there between the 7 and the 6. I scraped off the ones further down so that the vinyl would lay flat. Didn't technically have to do that, but I didn't want to force the vinyl around the latches. So I just got rid of the latches. Probably would never notice if I didn't point it out. I painted Chessie's ear yellow because the orange stripe used to go right through the middle of her ear. So I had to paint that. Then I applied the new vinyl lettering to the cab sides. I ordered a bunch of additional parts from USA Trains that I needed. So I put in a big order with them for things like additional handrail parts, the nose brake wheel, quite a few other random parts I needed. New Phase 3 radiator grills, 3D printed by Ole Valley Railcar, Oley. Beautiful grill details. They match the prototypical grills. The grills that were on these were Phase 1 grills. These are now Phase 2 and 3 grills. And then I had to paint all the trucks and the fuel tanks blue from the 3 donor locomotives. That was a pretty big project that took a while. So that was done. Switching papers. Then I transferred the trucks and fuel tanks from the original frames over to the Chessie frames. I touched up the blue Chessie system lettering. The way the paint is stamped, a lot of yellow was showing in the middle of the Chessie system lettering in the door grooves. So I painted all that up blue. I scratch built new brake wheel front apparatus, other than the round wheel itself. That's the USA Trains SD40 wheel. But the brake wheel apparatus that it's attached to, I scratch built with bits of styrene. Chessie rock plows. The rock plows turned out fantastic. I ordered 2 different sets of rock plows from 2 guys who 3D print them. They are Chris Murray and Donnell Wells from the G-Scale 3D printing group on Facebook. These are the rock plows by Donnell Wells. Really nice parts and really bring out the front end. That's a Chessie, almost completely Chessie system feature. I think a few other railroads used it, but it's pretty uncommon on other railroads. C&O started it, and then Chessie system used them as well. So thanks for that. That's a great looking part. I added coupler boxes from Camarillo Pacific, only to the 2 ends that are facing outward. So these 2 units have new coupler boxes. And then orange handrails. I had to paint all the handrails orange, so that was a big project. Took a while to find the paint, the correct orange paint. And then decals. I designed in Photoshop decals for the number boards, the brake wheel decal, battery box slot decals, air tank lettering decals, and the truss plate decals. And they were then printed by Fusion Scale Graphics. Nick Odell on the EMD SD40 and SD40-2 locomotives Facebook group. He found the air tank lettering and the handbrake plate lettering, the actual letters. You can actually read that if you really get in there close. So thank you to Nick Odell for that. And Michael Smith on the Chessie System Modeling Group came through with the truss plate lettering, which you can also read. I don't even know if it's going to focus on that. But the truss plates have the actual correct lettering, and I put those on all 3 units. So those decals turned out great. And then the car track decals on the side of the handrails. That's a very cool Chessie specific feature. Those I found from K4 Decals. K4 decals offered those in 129 scale. So I love that detail. I just made a square sheet of styrene, painted it orange, and applied them to the handrails. I then clear coated all the decals except for the vinyl cab lettering. I clear coated all the decals with Krylon satin clear. Jack stands, the little guys hanging down from the frame. Small detail, but those were painted blue. They were originally orange on the chassis shells. I added air hoses. I ended up using the stock USA Trains air hoses on the front. Oh, I scratch built bell brackets. The bell itself, again, came from USA Trains. That's a USA Trains detail part. And I scratch built the bracket to hang them. And they've got a post going in to hold them on. And the last step was installing the horns. The horns are also by Ole Valley Railcar, 3D printed. Really nice horn details. So that is all 31 changes over the course of almost 3 years. Didn't have to take 3 years. I could have done it much quicker, but I worked on it whenever I had time. Couple winters during that 3 years, I didn't really do anything because I was just waiting on painting. So, that is another long, detailed video on the SD40-2's. I'm also going to put some video, some clips in this video of them running, and some detail photos that I've taken over the past few days. But that is everything. Complete Chessie SD40-2's. And I ran them all weekend, this Labor Day weekend, and they run great. I've got sound in one of the three. Sound that came with a GP38 that I bought. It's old Phoenix sound, but it sounds pretty good. So, that is everything. Thank you again to all the guys and vendors, part suppliers, lettering decal suppliers. Thank you all very much. Your help has been instrumental in getting this project done and making it turn out so nice. So, those are the Chessie SD40's. They are my new favorite locomotives. I'm going to bring them to the train club and run them on a train club layout this week. So, that is everything. Thanks, everyone. I'll post this video, and I'll post more photos on the Builderlog webpage. And again, you can find that webpage, or you can find a link to the webpage in the description of this video. Okay, thank you, everyone. See you next time.